Okay, we're going to learn how to do some auxiliary views today, and I'm going to start with a new file. And let me see if I've got something open. Let's do this. Let me find another one that has some layers in it, and I'll copy my layers, save myself some time. Okay, this one should have, it's got dimensions, center, hidden. Okay, let's copy this. Okay, I have layers now. Let's start with our object layer. If you look at number one, one of the main things to notice on these is you have a wider space for your auxiliary view. So I'm going to start with my right side view, which is 2 by 2.5, and I'm going to use a polyline when I draw it. That way it'll make it easier to offset. So I'm going to start, make sure I've got ortho turned on. I'm going 2, 2.5, 2, and C for close. Alright, that gives me the outline of my right side view. I'm now looking at this. It has a 1/2 inch space in both directions. So I'm going to offset that by 1/2. Okay, that's my right side view. My front view, it says we need a 3 inch space here. We're going 3 inches across the bottom, and overall height is 2.5. So 3 and 2.5. So coming from here, I'm going to go over 3, 3, 2.5, and I'm just going to draw a short line here. It tells us that the other side is based off of an angle, and it's a 45-degree angle. Straight up is 90, to the right is 0, so we're going to add 45 to 90, which would be 135 degrees. I'm going to make it too long. Let's make it 3.5 at an angle of 135. I did something wrong. .5 at an angle of 135. I said I was doing it too long. I actually did a little short, but I can use fillet to click on this and click on that, and it completes that. All right, now go to my I don't have a hidden line, so let's make us a layer. Hidden. And we're going to make it red. And it's not a continuous line, so we're going to load hidden 2. Okay. Choose it and okay. And let's make that my current layer. And close. Using that I'm going to draw lines in here. Okay, now to draw an auxiliary view, you pick the layer or the view that surface is a line. So the surface that we're talking about is right here. It's that surface there, but it's a line over here. So I'm going to come out here in space. If y'all want to kind of pay attention here, I'm going to come out here in space and I'm going to draw a line back to this. I do not want the center. I need to turn some stuff off. Let me turn that off. I'm drawing a line out here in space, and I don't want the midpoint. I want perpendicular. All right, once I find perpendicular, let me go back and change this to my object layer. I'm going to copy that and I'm going to try to make it show me endpoint. Let's turn intersection off. And I want to hit on that point, and that point. Then I'm going to move this original one to there. That gets my height of my object. This may not be the correct way to do this, but I like to use whatever this width is right here. This width was 2. So I'm going to offset by 2. I'm going to offset that line, 2, and then 2 again. I'm going to trim. Oh, is that trimming all the way off? Okay, now I'm going to trim. That gives me my height again of this part. I have my width of my overall, but I need the width of the inner part here. So I'm going to use offset again on that. Offset by 0.5. And trim. I could use fillet the same way on that as trim. All right, that would be a partial auxiliary view of that object. If you wanted a full auxiliary view, you would show that top part up here, but that's a partial auxiliary view of that object. All right, let's do one that's got a circle in it. Let's look at number 7, the heat shield. Again, it's the same size as the one we just did. So I'm going to start with a polyline. I'm going 2.5, 2, 2.5, and C for close. I'm still in the wrong layer, aren't I? Again, let's put it 3 inches away. And a 3-inch line. And 2.5 tall. I'm going to draw a line out that way and stop. And then we'll start from here. And this time I'm going to go 4 at an angle of 135. And trim that off our fillet. Okay, it's got a circle in the center. So I'm going to go back. A while ago I turned off the reference lines. I'm going to turn that back on so it'll make it easier. What size was the circle? It has a diameter of 1.5. So I'm going to circle diameter. I'm going to touch this one at the top, touch the one on the side, and where those cross, I'm going to draw a circle at 1.5. Again, we would have hidden lines in that. And we would also have center lines. So I'm going to go to my center layer, annotate center mark on this, center line between this and this. Okay. Now, again, I'm going to start out here in space with a line. And I want to come to perpendicular. You can either copy or move the first time. I'm going to move it the first time, then I'm going to copy it. Again, my width was 2, so that's what I'm going to offset by. Make it 2 inches away. I don't know what the true rule on this is, but this usually works out pretty good. I'm going to trim this. Okay. That gets us that way. We had a diameter of 1.5. So I'm going to I drew a line from midpoint to midpoint. I'm going to offset it by 0.75. You really wouldn't have to go both directions, but I'm going to. Now, that gives me my rectangle, or what is the circle going to look like in this view? It's going to be an ellipse. So I'm going to use axis N. You could actually use center, either one. I'm going to use the axis N. This is one side of my ellipse, that's the other side, and that's the top. So I'm going to delete this line and leave the other two for now. I'm going to show you why. Well, delete those also. Okay. We cannot actually put use the center mark command to put one on an ellipse. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to offset that ellipse by 1/8 of an inch to the outside. I'm going to trim this one and this one, and I'm going to extend.
Mr. Young? Come in, Mr. Young.
And after I do that, I'm going to turn those into center lines. There's two auxiliary views for you.